The day that I almost destroyed my current relationship was 4 years ago. And that was the best thing that ever happened to me because I learned something that I had already known, that I heard people talk about, people, dating coaches, people in the self-development field, my father, people that I know that are successful in relationships. But I thought to myself, I was rationalizing that thing. But then, when I had one of the worst experiences in relationships, but then I fixed it. Thank God I fixed the relationships, and I found out what is my folly. It was the best thing ever. I learned the most valuable lesson about masculinity and about manhood, and I became a better human being. Therefore, so what happened to me? I grew up with a very low social skill set. I didn't have many skills socially because I believe when I did some psychoanalysis on myself, I believe when I was in but primary school, I was very sociable as a kid. But then we actually moved places, not far from the first house, but we changed to another house where I practically knew nobody. I knew nobody. So what happened to me, I was a gamer that other day. I started getting bullied a little bit. And I believe I didn't like it at first because it was painful. And I did not understand why it was happening to me. So naturally, it wasn't a proactive thing. Naturally, I started staying home. At an early age, I was about 10 years old, I'd say. Yeah, I was about 10 years old. 10 years old, 11. And I would stay alone at home. I would play video games all day and I would work out. It's true, I was doing judo at the time. I was good at judo, fairly good enough, right? Not that good, but good enough. And I would stay for the whole summer. I spent a summer where I left the house. The times I left the house during that summer, it was the summer of 2008. You can count them on our 10 hands, maybe 10 times, maybe 11. It was like this. So I believe that was the point where I lost my social skills. So I started becoming awkward. I had acne and people would laugh at me. Then in 2011, I started learning about how to pick up women. So I started reading books and watching videos, and then I basically went deeper and deeper. I started stopping girls outside in the street, stopping random people, just to work on my social skills. Then I reached my goal. Then I had my first girlfriend at the age of 18. At the age of 18, when I had my first girlfriend, and listen carefully here, I had an image in my mind. I thought that basically having a girlfriend meets the eyes, or I don't know what, it's not a meets the eyes, I think. This is what they say in English. I don't know why I forgot the expression, but it's like a meets the eyes, right? It's like the end of it. That's happiness, because I've never had it, right? Because when someone doesn't have something, they think that it's basically happiness, is the key to happiness. And that's what I've done. I had a girlfriend and I was so entrenched and infatuated with her love that I ruined the relationship. I was doing one mistake that I'm going to tell you, right? I'm keeping you here just so you can follow and focus with me. I'm not going to say it to you right now, but it's important for you to understand and listen carefully. Then she broke up with me, basically. She doesn't even know, but right now I know, and you will know at the end of this video. I'm going to try to make it short. Then I had another girlfriend about, let's say, 3 years later, after having dated multiple girls that I ruined the relationship with, of course. Then that girl went on a long distance. She went to Canada, I was in Algeria, and broke my heart, and I ruined the relationship. because I was like, okay, this long distance relationship isn't enough for me. I want a woman in front of me, which is true to some extent, of course, depending on the context, of course. What I've done, I became a womanizer, basically, which is the other end of the spectrum, which is bollocks, right? Like, it's not good. I wasted a lot of my my early 20s. I wasted them. It was 2015, I'd say. 2015? No, not 2015. What am I on about? 2014, I believe. Yeah. So I started acting like a fool, which is normal, raging hormones, testosterone, etc. You want to show that you have bitches and everything to your friends, especially that the culture forces that and pushes that agenda onto the world, onto us men. Then I had another girlfriend. And that girlfriend, I ruined the relationship, and like not right after, but after our breakup, a guy contacted me and he told me, what happened to the girl? I was like, what? She's in the reanimation block. I don't know if it says in English, but she is in a coma. I was shocked. So I went and I saw her. I went with a friend, actually. And I was heartbroken because I knew that she was going to die. Then one morning, I woke up. I was going to work. I was teaching English at the time. My friend, who came with me to see her in the coma, she said that she died. I was heartbroken, right? And after that, I had another girlfriend. That the same thing happened, and she didn't die. She's still alive, but we're still together. But I almost ruined the relationship, and we did break up, but then we ended up going back together. And thanks to some good resources and what I've learned, I learned the thing that I should not do. Because entering a relationship, some of us have this idea, we have this image about our relationships that basically is rubbish, it's meaningless. And I blame the romantics for this. I blame the romantic books. You can attack me for that. I blame Guy de Maupassant, which is a French writer. I blame the big romantics who produced the bestseller novels in the world, romantic novels, because they paint this picture of relationships that is unattainable. They only paint the picture of the first 6 months in the relationship, because inside of a relationship, you know that you are going to be infatuated for about 6 months, and then it's going to die down. The emotions that you've been feeling at first are not as strong. And no, it doesn't mean you're going to lose feelings for her, but it's going to become more of a stable thing. And then the real work starts, right? And then the real thing, if you are a real man, that's how you can test yourself. Because a real man does not chase that feeling of infatuation. Because we know that the feeling of infatuation, is destabilizing us. We are unstable because of it. We can't really take good decisions. And I think it's a good thing that we have that phase that ends, basically. Because the romance that we have in our mind is ruining our relationship, because we will always be disappointed in our relationships. If we get into a relationship with this mindset, it's going to create all sorts of things. You're going to be like, what? She's got this quirk. She's got this personality defect. Oh, I'm bored. I no longer feel loved. Honey, imagine you a man. Honey, I don't feel the same emotions. That's lame, bro. That's lame, man. If you're doing that, you should be ashamed of yourself. I'm not promoting shame, but you should be ashamed of yourself, constructively speaking. I'm not like telling you, feel ashamed and that's it. No, you should feel ashamed about yourself, because you are basically bringing yourself down and you are shooting yourself on the foot, right? This thing is that I'm talking about in a nutshell is that relationships aren't as they are painted in the world. because a lot of people, a lot of men getting bored, a lot of women as well, but I'm not a woman, so I'm not going to talk about it. I don't know how a woman feels inside of a relationship. I don't want a woman to protect me and provide for me and just basically be the rock that I lean on. I want to be that, okay? So I don't know what to say about the female part. Maybe I'll bring a female to talk about that, but that's not my thing right now. This is the thing that basically takes from your relationship. You think it's all this rainbows and stars and bubbly feelings, butterflies in your stomach, but mainly it's hard work and dedication and being stable, and the woman will shit test you at times. She will fuck with you. I'm sorry, voice cracked. She will fuck with you and she will test you out. And she will try to stabilize you, because she is a woman and that's her nature. She needs to test you. The woman is the microcosm of the world, because if you can handle the world, you can handle a woman, and vice versa, and the other way around. Okay? So when you get into a relationship, you better not focus on the romantic. You need to have a relationship that's... Okay, so basically my video got cut, so I'll need to finish. As I said, you need to focus not on the romantic side of things. You basically need to be rational a little bit about your love. Is this going to be the mother of my children? Is this going to be a wife who's going to work to make me happy? And I make her happy, of course. Obviously, if you think like that, you got to do your part of things. Is this going to be the woman who's respectful of me when I'm not around? Who respects me, who wouldn't let men touch her and touch her whenever they want and acting like they are friends? Is this going to be the woman who's going to take me who's going to help me with my goals? Not help me at work, but who's going to support me and say, yeah, you go and do it. You are my lion. You are my man and you are able to do it. Is she going to believe in me? Is she going to think about my needs? Because I'm going to think about her needs. I'm going to want to protect her. I'm going to try to help her with her dreams, right? And I'm not against women working, all right? There are women who work who are good women, right? If they had the option, they could stay at home as well. But I'm not against that too. But these qualities of a traditional wife are very important. That's how you should fall in love. You should actually not look for the same interests. Okay, one interest together, maybe watching movies, and that's it. Because you don't need to spend much time with your woman like your friend. She's not your friend. She is not your friend, neither she is your mother. Okay? She will basically do her job, right? She will do her part and you will do your part, and you're going to love yourselves even more. You're going to love each other even more as well, right? So that's the thing. What you need to do in this case, you need to go and look for resources, for people who talk about what you should look in a woman. For me, in my case, I'm a Muslim. There is a lot of resources that shows us what a good woman is. There is also a book that you can read called The Way of the Superior Man by David Deida. It's a very interesting and important book. It talks about masculine and feminine polarities, how men rejuvenate their masculine polarity and how women rejuvenate their feminine polarities. It's very important to know. There is also another book that you can read, Atomic Attraction. I think it's Atomic Attraction. He's a YouTuber who makes really good videos and he teaches you the nature of women, how to not turn off your women, how to avoid problems, and how to keep her a good woman. Because if she is acting out, that's your fault. Because you need to be masculine enough to let her be a good woman for you. She needs to want that, because you should not negotiate desire as well. Okay, this is very important stuff that we need to focus on, all of us, right? So I'm not going to make this video very long. I believe that I made my point, and if you have questions, just send me a message. I've got everything down below in the description. You can reach me, or what you can do instead, you can leave a comment as well, right? So yeah, thank you so much and cheers.